Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Mid South Wrestling Review Series for the 12th of October 1985. We're running out of content here for this series, but there will be more. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Smoky Mountain, More Wrestling Challenge, or Mid Atlantic. All three of those are on the short list of things that are coming up in the next few months. So I don't know what's coming next after this Mid South deal is over, but we do kind of see the company Mid South Wrestling, that is, moving more towards a national vein. As Ric Flair addresses the Mid South controversy, he says he only wants to wrestle the North American champion, whoever that is. He doesn't care if it's Hacksaw Jim Duggan or Dick Murdoch or Butch Reed or anybody else, but he only, as the world champion, wants to wrestle the man who is the North American champion because that is the belt in Mid South. Flair, interviewed by Jim Ross here, wearing the rather large band-aid indicating he was bladed the night before. I just always found that funny when guys would wear band-aids like that. Hacksaw Duggan responds to the inferences of Flair. Basically says he wants to fight Flair regardless. He basically says that he has taken Flair to the limit, and they kind of show a house show match where he does in fact wrestle Flair before. So they're kind of hyping the desire for Duggan versus Flair in the future. And this match is clipped from Alexandria, Louisiana, and Flair in the clip has Duggan in the figure four for several minutes, and Duggan flips him over, reverses the figure four. Flair's backing off, kind of in a cowardly motion. Duggan, who really for this area of 82 to 85, he's probably been the most constant, maybe other than Junkyard Dog, and well, DiBiase probably comes in third, but I would say Duggan's been the most constant guy over the last 4.5 years of content, and so him against Flair probably would be a really big draw at the time, I would imagine. Wasn't around as a fan at the time, so I don't really know. Flair does take Duggan out to the floor, tries to brawl with him, take him to the floor and kind of get things going. Flair is bleeding through the Band-Aid, which I always find funny that guys wear Band-Aids and don't rip the Band-Aid off before they start bleeding. But anyway, Duggan brings him back in the hard way with the vertical suplex. Duggan really does look like he has Flair in his control, kind of keeps down on him a bit and sets him up for the 3-point stance tackle. Flair kind of makes sure that Duggan runs into the referee, and obviously the match is kind of ended on the basis that in fact Duggan can't win because the referee has been affected. We go to the first full match of the program. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, who we've seen in previous weeks and kind of building back up here, versus Mikey Nicholas. Mad Dog with a bandana and the chain. Obviously, with the Junkyard Dog gone, he is claiming the only dog that matters in wrestling is basically here. Mad Dog manages to take down his adversary, goes right at him pretty aggressively, and stays on him pretty assertively. Hits a few shots, kind of running him into the mat, hard forearms and the like. Real basic stuff. Mad Dog takes him over to the corner, does the reverse power slam off the ropes. Actually, would love to see somebody bring that finish back. It's really cool. Bad looking finish and kind of cool there. Wendell Cooley gets a music video, kind of riding horses and doing cowboy related stuff. Trying to get him over, but again, they kind of, to me, in comparison to the teams they've had in the past, sort of fall flat. And I think the need to push them harder than they were being pushed is there just out of default. In general, this week's show kind of falls flat. Gypsy Joe and Brody Chase are facing the team of Perez and Cooley, who are, I believe, still the tag team champions at this point. And although they aren't kind of wearing the belts. So, again, Perez, the guy in the team that has the most potential at this point. Perez uses more power. We see him use, or Cooley comes in, uses a good bit of drop kicks. But you've seen them as former, even if they're former tag team champions, and kind of using the drop kicks and and the backdrops and all of that. They're doing babyface things, and they're getting enough of a reaction from this crowd, but I don't know that they're getting a major, overlay reaction. Perez gets the victory with the German suplex, which in 1985 is a pretty big deal of a move. Dark Journey video for Dick Slater, kind of a music video. She's dancing around, being seductive by 1985 standards. I assume maybe it was Let's Get Physical or one of the other pop songs originally in this nature of things. Then we see Let's Get or Dick Slater getting physical, literally, with Steve Constance, another enhancement match. And as mentioned, these matches kind of are falling a little flat here in 1985 by Mid-South standards in comparison to every match being more competitive before. Obviously, the main event isn't that way, but Slater, again, a guy that I don't really get. Punch kick, very basic offense, not anything worth writing home about. He doesn't connect in the WWF when he goes in 86 later either. I think his biggest role that I remember seeing him in was WCW past his prime, so maybe I just wasn't exposed to his best work or what that looks like. But needless to say, Dick Slater's a guy that really doesn't connect with me. Again, punch kick, elbows, nothing offensively that's like, wow, got to see this guy. Basic body slams. He looks to be in good shape. Looks like he could be a tough bar brawler maybe, but not exactly a guy that you're gonna write home about. And so he's kind of standing over the face and on the face of his opponent, kind of waiting for his man to get up, takes him out with a sleeper hold, gets a victory there. 1, 2, 3, and away we go. Lord Humongous and the Nightmare versus Turner and Falk, and nothing huge to write about there either. Obviously, Sir Oliver Humperdinck still there. Don Turner. I wonder if that's a shot at Ted Turner. Who knows? Probably not in 85, but who knows? Stranger things have been done. Obviously, your Nightmare and Falk, a good, or Nightmare and Humongous, a good team. Brawlers, of course, Nightmare has fallen since taking the mask off. Not as prominent as he was when wearing the mask. Of course, he was North American champion when wearing the mask. That is available in our archives, as is over 1,000 other audios. I'm going to have, what my goal is, I'd love to have 5,000 by the end of 2021, but that's going to take a lot of work, and who knows what my schedule is going to look like to make that happen. But anyway, Irish whips and big back body drops by the Nightmare. Your typical squash match. Humongous comes in. He's mainly more of the focus, although he's been kind of lost in comparison to where he was 6 months before, kind of lost in the ether here too. You could be doing a lot more with him, obviously, and some big body slams, kind of a fresh slam there, actually holding the man up as though he's trying to give his opponent a wedgie for a bit on the nature of his deal, and it looks like he's actually busted, or the enhancement talent was in fact busted open at a point during the match, and that's that. He puts him out with a sleeper hold, and there you go there. Ted DiBiase and referee, the eventual referee, Nick Patrick, who does wrestle for a few years before becoming a referee, actually blowing out his knee in the it was in the Mid-South or Georgia territories, one of the two, but blowing out his knee late 80s and becoming a referee for several years in WCW and then WWE for a little while. Anyway, one of the few matches I've ever seen him in, and he's a good enhancement talent for the sake of DiBiase. DiBiase is bandaged up, so he's obviously been in some brawls around the Mid-South territory. Really basic match here, just highlighting DiBiase as an enhancement, or as a main talent against an enhancement talent. Hits a shot to the midsection, pretty aggressively. gets everything done that he needs to get done. Big body slams by DiBiase and punch kick, basic stuff. He always comes back to Mid South and will until he leaves for the WWF in '87. He's actually one of the guys who, I mean, he has a run in the Mid South area up through '87, and I think he actually has his first appearance maybe '79 or '80. So long range relationship with the promotion. Good fire from Patrick here, actually. Although DiBiase doesn't do a whole lot to get up for his body slams. Quick, short body slams, and then of course DiBiase with a kick off, with a cut off with a kick to the midsection when he kind of drops the head for the for the backdrop. DiBiase is, of course, seconded by his old buddy, Cowboy Dr. Death, Steve Williams. DiBiase goes to the second rope on the inside, hits an elbow to the top of the head. DiBiase is as aggressive as he can be, wants to be, whatever have you. Dr. Death on the outside, even in kind of a jogging sweatsuit sort of thing. It is what it is. Patrick manages to move out of the way. I actually like this match by Nick Patrick because he stays in, but he's not there long term. DiBiase with a back suplex goes back to the figure four. Obviously, the figure four is the move that he used when turning heel against the Junkyard Dog all those years ago. Doesn't get all he wants on the figure four, and then we see a brawl on the outside, and I think it's Slater who manages